Welcome back. On the show, we have Michael Dorenzio, President and CEO at the Silver Institute, International Institute rather. Michael, hi, thank you so much for joining in. And you are in India right now. And if you look at the numbers in sense of silver, it has been slightly lagging behind when it comes to prices as compared to gold. But how would you look at the gold and silver ratio? And what is your sense on the prices going forward?
Well, it's a great question. And listen, Manisha, it's lovely to be in your great country once again. And I thank you for this opportunity today. Look at the gold and silver ratio at nearly 100 or right over 100 is telling us one thing, and it's saying it's time to buy silver. Okay. I mean, it is a ripe opportunity to get into the game. If you're a new investor to the precious metals market, start off with silver. We think it's ripe for potential as we move through 2025 and beyond. And yes, it's lagged a bit, but the fundamentals are strong. They're strong as they have been. We're still calling for another deficit this year in the market, marking the fifth consecutive year of a silver market structural deficit. So we are very pleased to see where we're going to go this year, but we're very optimistic.
When it comes to industrial demand, and as you mentioned, this is going to be a fifth year of deficit right now, do you see a much more pickup in the industrial demand, or is the trade, tariff, global concerns also weighing onto this commodity?
Yeah, we put out a report in January where we had actually forecast another record year for industrial demand, and we've somewhat stepped back a bit until we see what's going to take place, especially with China, which of course is the largest consumer of industrial silver. So we have a wait and see approach at the moment, but nonetheless, it's still going to be a very, very strong year.
How long do you think, Michael, would it take for the markets to go higher from here? Because at the beginning of this year, a lot of banks and brokerages talked about 35 and 38 and even $42 an ounce, but we haven't been able to break above 34 for this year till time. How are you reading the price charts?
Well, I wish I knew when it's going to break out. And when it breaks, it's going to break fast. And quite frankly, we had a 21% increase in the silver price on an average basis in 2024. We're up about 14 to 15% this year. There's a long runway for it to go further. We think the conditions in the market are setting the stage for a major move in silver.
How are you looking at the Indian demand as well? Because while we do understand that a lot of gold demand has shifted into silver because of the all-time high prices here, but overall, how have you seen the first quarter in sense of Indian imports, and what's your sense going forward?
Well, it's been quite extraordinary for India and in turn for the global silver market. Look at last year, we had a decrease in the amount of physical investment globally, but in India, we had an increase in silver physical investment, and that's continuing today. Having just returned yesterday from the India Silver Conference in Udaipur, the market and I should say the participants are very enthusiastically optimistic about 2025.
Any number that you would want to put out, Michael, on what the Indian imports could be for this year? Because we've seen a record number in the last 2 or 3 years, and then some stability in the previous year. Are you looking at higher numbers yet again?
Well, there was a presentation that said they think that number may go higher as we move through the year. But as you mentioned, they've been stable so far. But again, that's coming off of a record late 2023 and 2024 in total.
Michael, when you look at the global markets, what percentage would you say is silver investment demand, and what is the industrial demand at this point, and how does that reflect for India?
Well, on industrial demand, you're looking at over 55, 58% globally for silver industrial demand on an annual basis. Investment demand lowered last year, but we are forecasting a slight increase this year. We think that the retail investor is going to come to the market. We're hearing that the institutional investor is taking a very close look at silver. And India, their relatively new ETPs on the market have been quite strong and are showing no sign of let up.
That's a good thing to know. Michael, thank you so much for joining in as always. And we're hoping next time you're in India, you're in studios here with us in CNBC TV 18.
You can count on it, Manisha. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michael, for having spent time with us. Well, with that, that's all the time that we have on the show, but Business Lunch will take all the action forward.